start the game.
And I would say on the defensive sideline, there's a lot to answer for because you spend all week saying, stop the run. I don't care who you're playing. You don't want to get run over. You don't want to get run past. And they got both. Over-committing in the secondary, and he just went stepping past them and is still running, essentially.
One play, and he hits pay dirt. Dante Hall going to bring it out of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. So, Charles, as mentioned, we've got another Coach Madden over here on the AFC sideline. Of course, his Raiders, members of the AFC West. So this is a conference he battled in for his entire career. And you think about the landscape of the NFL as he was getting into the back half of his tenure. It was a golden era for coaches. You had Don Shula, Tom Landry, Chuck Noll, Bud Grant. But it was John Madden who had the best winning percentage of them all, CD. 759, the best ever.
Brandon, it's hard to believe he could be so successful in a conference with all those great teams. The Steelers won 4 Super Bowls. The Dolphins won 2 and were a mainstay in the playoffs. The Colts were tough. The Broncos came on late and went to a Super Bowl themselves. But against Hall of Fame coaches, John Madden's record, 36, 16, and 2. That's pretty incredible. His Raiders were a factor each and every year.
Brady now on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So as we mentioned at the top, let's take you through the life of John Madden. And, you know, it's very fitting that we're here back in the Bay Area, not just because John's so associated with Raider football, but also because this was where he spent his formative years.
Yeah, he grew up over in Daly City with his buddy John Robinson, who would also become an NFL head coach. And he played his high school ball at Jefferson High, eventually wound up playing tackle at the University of Oregon, and later Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. Played well enough that in 1958, he was a 21st round draft pick of the Philadelphia Eagles. That's right, the draft of 30 rounds then.
On is the Hall of Famer Ray Guy to punt this away on 4th down. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Now this is fielded in the end zone. Hester to return from his end zone. And he's going to be tackled inside his 10-yard line. You may hear a few words from his head coach on that decision. Ready to begin their next drive here, the NFC offense. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here. And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one. Another impressive drive. So they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them. And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, and not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced a punt to get the ball back, and they've played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimal level. Following the touchdown, here's Anderson to kick it away. From the 6. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The offense for the AFC set to go now. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Well, Charles, you mentioned Coach was a 21st round draft pick back in 1958. It was the Philadelphia Eagles who selected him. But unfortunately for John, knee problems, they just continued to dog him. He was hurt in his first training camp, actually never saw the field as a player in the NFL. But it was still during his time with the Eagles, you and I were talking about this before going on air, that you could start to see the light bulb going on for what his career path might entail. And it went on in a big way, didn't it? Because while he was rehabbing his knee, he started to spend a lot of time breaking down film with the Eagles. With quarterback Norm Van Brocklin, the future Hall
Famer and future head coach in the NFL. Remember, Van Brockman coached with the Falcons. He coached with the Vikings. And was there during that time. I think Coach Madden realized his love of football and love for teaching, combining all that together, and that meant being a football coach. So in 1960, began his coaching career at a small college south of San Luis Obispo called Allen Hancock, and then later at San Diego State University under another legendary coach, the guy who could throw it around pretty well, Doc Coryell.
To the right side, it's Kelsey. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be 4th down. 1 quarter in the books at the Coliseum. What a day. The NFC Stars with the early lead in the John Madden Legacy game on EA Sports. On the return, Hester. A nice run back there off the good punt. It's a 16-yard return. And the NFC will take over 1st and 10. The NFC heading back out. Hall of Famer Randy Moss a part of this offense. And Coach Madden, boy, he always appreciated the ferociousness with which number 84 attacked the football in the air.
As Randy Moss says, just chunk it up there, dog, and I'll go get it.
And, Coach, boy, did he ever go get it. Over 15,000 receiving yards, 156 touchdowns. And how about this? From his rookie year of 1998 until 2009, those were his prime seasons, right? He led the league in touchdowns 5 times, but even more so, he showed us all how to go up and get it. Great body. Control. No one's ever done it better playing the ball in the air.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll go again with Sanders. And he'll be taken down at about the 45. Charles, you know, it was in the early 1960s that a young John Madden made the acquaintance of the owner of the Oakland Raiders, one Al Davis, of course, and the two, they really bonded, would become one of the best owner-coach duos in NFL history. And to take it a step further, Al Davis became someone who John referred to as his best friend.
Yeah, in 1967, Brandon, Al Davis hired Coach Madden to be a linebackers coach. Remember, this was still the AFL at that point. We had not merged totally with the NFL. And Coach Madden, he paid dividends almost immediately. Helped the Raiders win the AFL title in 1968. And that meant a date for the Green Bay Packers in what was now known as Super Bowl II. But by 1969, at the age of 32, just 32, Brandon, John Madden assumed the mantle of head coach of the Oakland Raiders. And what a ride he, the Raiders, in the NFL were about to go on.
They'll run with Sanders up the middle. And he'll wind up picking up about 4, as that is going to bring us to the 2-minute warning. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Hey, we want to let you know, give you a fair warning, that coming up at halftime, the folks at EA Sports have put together a very nice package in tribute to Coach Madden. So make sure you stick around for that. Again, coming up at halftime. Touchdown! A great play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. As his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Now to try to add the extra point, the lefty Anderson. And it is now 21-0. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's finished off by an NFC touchdown. Following the touchdown, here's Anderson to kick it away. No run back here for Hall, and this will come out to the 25. The AFC offense heading back out. You know, Charles, Coach really loved to utilize his tight ends in the passing game. You think about Dave Casper, Hall of Famer for those great Raider teams. And I think he saw a lot of Dave Casper in an all-Madden staple, Tony Gonzalez.
Tony Gonzalez is the type of tight end I think everyone's looking for. He's a guy that can make some big plays from that tight end position. Let me tell you, you better make sure you have him accounted for on every play.
And that's exactly right, because Dave Casper, he could shred defenses down the middle of the field. And that's exactly what Tony Gonzalez did in his entire career. A 14-time Pro Bowl selection. Only Tom Brady has more. There's 6 guys in the 15,000-yard receiving club. He's the only tight end in there. Tony Gonzalez, every snap he had to know where he was because he could make plays short, medium, and long, and often put the ball in the end zone.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From midfield, here's Brady. And he cannot get rid of it. The NFC getting in there for the sack. To try again after the sack. Brady. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. Boy, a tough spot here as they approach the line of scrimmage. A long way to go to try to pick up this 1st down. Now Allen. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down. Here's Ray Guy now. He's been a busy man here in this 1st half as he gets it away. Here's Hester. Oh, he nearly broke that one. As it stands, though, a heck of a 36-yard run back. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. Room here to run. Taking it right down Broadway. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the 1st half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
Go ahead and give him the hat trick. He's been in the end zone now 3 times.
You toss your fedora first, okay? You go ahead and do that. But let's be honest about it. That 3rd one, that's the most spectacular run he's had in the ballgame. It's almost as if he's been playing his own game of, can I top this? And each run has been more spectacular than the last.
Extra point by Anderson, up and good. And that will take us. Coming up in the 2nd half, we'll run through John's post-coaching triumphs. But for now, we present a special tribute to the man of the hour, narrated by the Raiders' own Trey Mosley. The AFC going to get the football first here as we are back underway from Oakland in the John Madden Legacy game. This will be fielded inside the 5. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The AFC offense set to take their next drive. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the 2nd half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
And not much happening there. He's taken down, but a late penalty flag in the backfield. Now, this looks like a roughing call. Ouch, you thought you had the defensive stand. Roughing the passer wipes it out.
What does every defense talk about? 3 and out, right? Thought they were able to get off the field. Not so.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. Now a carry for Allen. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. So now, Charles, to pick up the story we've been telling, John Madden at 42, he just completed a 10-year stint as the coach of the Raiders. He wants to step away a bit from the grind of coaching, but he doesn't want to step away from the game of football. So he ends up signing on with CBS in 1979 to try his hand at broadcasting. And much like his coaching career, he was pretty much an instant success.
Partner, he really connected with the people right from the start, and people may not remember he wasn't even on the #1 team in the beginning. He worked his way up. But the same things that made him a great coach made him a great broadcaster. The ability to show the big picture, yet break it down into the details. That's what he did with his teams. That's what he did with the people. That way, he was simple to understand, yet insightful for viewers. And he did with that big personality that he had, one that connected with everyone. It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. There he goes, left side. Touchdown! Almost the entire length of the field. A punt return of 97. Yards, and the NFC just continuing to pour it on. Extra point by Anderson, up and good, and that makes this 35-0 now. Well, it's no secret. That's why they have him return punts. He has the capability to take them back, and he did so there.
Anderson to kick off.
So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And Hall not going to bring this one out. The offense for the AFC set to go now.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run with Allen. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
So for Coach Madden, Charles, by 1981, his broadcasting career is really taking off. He's elevated to the network's #1 booth that calls all the big matchups. And he gets the plum assignment of calling Super Bowl 16, 49ers and Bengals, and he's teamed up with Pat Summerall. And that pairing ultimately would go on to be one of the most influential in sports broadcasting history.
Influential not just in us listening to them. Remember, they went on and called 8 Super Bowls together. But how they put together kind of the template that all us broadcasters follow now. Sitting down with the head coaches and the quarterbacks and the stars of each team before a ball game to get extra information. And the way that those two paired together, Pat Summerall, short, concise, to the point, and turned it over to Coach Madden to fill in all the big details.
So through 3 quarters of the John Madden legacy game, it's the NFC stars and young Coach Madden on top. And we'll be back to the Coliseum after this.
Now they'll throw with Brady. Dancing to his, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Credit the great Michael Strahan with a sack.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Now Brady. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Lawrence Taylor picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, it's obvious, but I can't help but say it here. It's never a good day when the opposing defense has more sacks than you have points. The win seems likely, but this defense is still playing for something here. They see that 0 on the scoreboard, and they don't want that to change.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Throw left side complete. That's Hill. 2 yards on the pickup there. And that's going to bring up the 4th down.
I like the thought process. I like the design, but I think he may have waited a little too long to spot his man, because if you're going to run that drag route, you've got to put it on him and let him turn upfield. Instead, he waits until his receiver's too close to the sideline, and they don't get the yards after the catch.
Here's Ray Guy now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. And a most curious way there to burn some clock. That was wild. And at the end of all that, it winds up a safety. All right, Charles, help me out here. 4th quarter, you've got the lead, and you run backwards into the end zone. You're just trying to do too much.
I almost don't have words for it. But, you know, every coach that we talk to talks about running backs or people running the football, running north-south, getting upfield. He went way in the opposite direction, and that's going to cost his team.
Yeah, it cost him big time. Still leading, but it costs him. Now the NFC going to call the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So a free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away. The AFC offense set to take their next drive.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Brady now to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
So 2 minutes to play in the John Madden Legacy game. And the NFC, well in control. And we'll be back to Oakland after this.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw, it's Brady.
Downfield throw tip, but he still got it.
And he'll get this to the 40, but that's still going to be a few yards short of the 1st down. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down.
Sometimes it pays to be lucky rather than good. That was not even the intended receiver on that pass.
But still able to haul it in for the reception. And he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
Here's Ray Guy now. He's been terrific so far. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. They start on the ground here at Sanders. It's a loss of 11 on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. Another run with Sanders. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15.
As you mentioned, CD, talking about John Madden, the broadcaster, he called 8 Super Bowls with Pat Summerall, 3 more with Al Michaels later in his career. He spent nearly 3 decades in the booth all told.
Oh, that's just not fair, and now room to run. He's at the 30, 10. And they are going to score touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all three phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Following the touchdown, here's Anderson to kick it away.
Here comes Hall. He's going to bring it out. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The offense for the AFC set to go now. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Brady looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. Here's Ray Guy now as he's on to punt for the AFC. And this will be taken at the 13.
So it's a win here for the NFC. Just an incredible afternoon of football and remembering the life of John Madden. And before we go, what... This is a special presentation of EA Sports from the Coliseum in Oakland. One time for old times. What do you say we play some football as we are underway from Oakland in the John Madden Legacy game? Here comes Devin Hester bringing it out. So it's the NFC stars who will get the ball first. And, Charles, as we alluded to, we've got a different era of coach on each sideline. So the man coaching this NFC squad, we'll call him Young John Madden. This is a coach who was trying to establish a foothold in the NFL and on the cusp of doing it very successfully.
Yeah, you think back to that period, those early days as the coach of the Raiders, the late 60s in the AFL, and then in the NFL in the early 70s. Coach was a guy who was ahead of his time. The Raiders were one of the first teams to have mini camps, one of the first to film practice, because he wanted to practice coaching as much as he could. And his teams, they were successful right from the start of his head coaching tenure.
Fast footwork by Sanders. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line.
57 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders.
hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. The first down play, to be frank, nothing short of awful, and now they have to deal with second and very long. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Give him 2 on the run. They need a lot more than that coming up here on third down.
So certainly in a pickle here. They have a mile to go to try to pick up the first. We'll see what they've drawn up.
And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
Man coverage is certainly a staple of their defense, and it's built for plays like that, forcing that incompletion.
He's going to go up top again. He's got a man. Complete. 20. And all the way in for the touchdown. Jerry Rice, 93 yards. And the NFC has taken the early lead. Extra point by Anderson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it's finished off by an NFC touchdown. Following the touchdown, here's Anderson to kick it away. Pulls it in at the 13. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
So, Charles, as mentioned, we've got another Coach Madden over here on the AFC sideline. Of course, his Raiders, members of the AFC West. So this is a conference he battled in for his entire career. And you think about the landscape of the NFL as he was getting into the back half of his tenure. It was a golden era for coaches. You had Don Shula, Tom Landry, Chuck Noll, Bud Grant. But it was John Madden who had the best winning percentage of them all, CD. 759, the best ever.
Brandon, it's hard to believe he could be so successful in a conference with all those great teams. The Steelers won 4 Super Bowls. The Dolphins won 2 and were a mainstay in the playoffs. The Colts were tough. The Broncos came on late and went to a Super Bowl themselves. But against Hall of Fame coaches, John Madden's record, 36, 16, and 2. That's pretty incredible. His Raiders were a factor each and every year.
Oh, he can't get away, and Brady will go down. Reggie White on the sack there, showing the explosiveness that led him to the Hall of Fame. Here's Ray Guy now on to punt it away. This will be taken at the 10. A nice little juke. And put it on the board. It's 6, a touchdown. Almost the full length of the field, a 90-yard punt return. And the NFC strikes quick. For 6. Extra point by Anderson, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Well, we know he has home run hitting ability in the punt return department, and he showcases it there all the way back for 6. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff.
No run back here for Hall, and this will come out to the 25. Now, the AFC making their way out, and it's one of Coach's favorites, another local guy, Tom Brady, who will be at the controls. And, boy, Coach always admired the way number 12 could run an offense, and especially his ability to stay calm under pressure.
Tom Brady is a guy who's always looking downfield. He never looks at the rush. He hangs in the pocket, and he makes a throw. He's a cool guy. He's a tough guy. Let me tell you, there's no one calmer in the pocket than Tom Brady.
And I know that Coach has a great appreciation for Tom Brady, who turned 45 back on August 3rd, because Coach coached a guy like him in George Blanda, who played a long time in the NFL. In this game, it features legends and active players. Tom Brady qualifies as both.
So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down.
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. And, oh, he took that thing one-handed. What a grab.
2 minutes remain here, the first half of the John Madden Legacy game. We'll be back.
That's a first down and then some. A 32-yard pickup. On the toss, here's Allen.
Down to the 42, 2nd down.
Brady saying let's go as he'll hustle him to the line. 2nd and 6.
And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. To throw is Brady. And he'll find Hall. And he'll get this only to about the 38 as they stop him a few yards shy of the line to gain. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this will remain a 2-touchdown game. So his big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown.
And now 2 problems as I see it. First, you missed the kick, which granted was a long one. But second, you set the other guys up with great field position and enough time to maybe get downfield and get a field goal attempt of their own.
The offense for the NFC ready to get their next drive started.
And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On the draw, here's Sanders. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Now the NFC going to call the first of their 3 timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Another run here with Sanders. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Sanders here as they run out of the gun. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. Anderson's kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
The AFC offense heading back out. You know, Charles, Coach really loved to utilize his tight ends in the passing game. You think about Dave Casper, Hall of Famer for those great Raider teams. And I think he saw a lot of Dave Casper in an all-Madden staple, Tony Gonzalez.
Tony Gonzalez is the type of tight end I think everyone's looking for. He's a guy that can make some big plays.
Well, coming up in the second half, we'll run through John's post-coaching triumphs. But for now, we present a very special tribute to the man of the hour, narrated by Trey Mosley. The AFC going to get the football first here as we are back underway from Oakland in the John Madden Legacy game. And the half will begin with a touchback. The AFC offense set to take their next drive. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. Here's Allen. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They stay on the ground with Allen. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46.
Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
On the draw, here's Allen. And he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, it's Allen. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Here's Brady to throw. He's got a man. Andre Reed complete.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. So through 3 quarters of the John Madden Legacy game, it's the NFC Stars and young Coach Madden on top. And we'll be back to the Coliseum after this.
Now a toss play, Allen. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38.
And score that one for one of the league's best. Jalen Ramsey getting the tackle for loss.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
Now, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Allen, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
A third down now. Those last two plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down. Now Brady got to have this one. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The AFC went for it, and it doesn't work out. And as a result, possession switches hands. That's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th, and we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
They'll wind up losing 11 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd and long.
So 2 minutes to play in the John Madden Legacy game, and the NFC well in control. And we'll be back to Oakland after this. Second down, and back they go to Sanders.
Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27.
48 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Big run here in the 4th as they continue to wear down this defense.
And that's when the offensive line coach clicks onto the headset and says, head coach, offense coordinator, let my guys fire out and hit people. We're wearing them down. Let's finish them off with the running game.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down. They'll run with Sanders. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And that's going to be caught. Touchdown in NFC. Emmitt Smith from 3 yards out as his guys have opened up a very... comfortable lead. Anderson on for the extra point. Now the NFC going to call the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The NFC going to line up and go for 2 here. They'll try and throw for it, eluding the pressure right. And he's going to be taken down. It's a sack, and they fail on the try for 2.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready.
Taken in at the 3. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. The offense for the AFC set to go now. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
on second down now. It's Allen, and I think we've got a hold here. It's a 5-yard pickup for the moment. Let's see what our referee says. They get the former number 6 overall pick, Quentin Nelson, out of Notre Dame that time. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. One final try now for Brady. Now a desperation throw deep downfield.
And a high throw there as this is knocked away down to the ground. So it's a win here for the NFC. Just an incredible afternoon of football and remembering the life of John Madden.
Yeah. Hold up. It ain't easy breaking away or being a great. They slamming the door.